Okay, so last year I'm in modern history and we were researching morals and ethics and all that. And one of my friends had suggested to me to watch Angels and Demons, which is from the book adaptation of the Dan Brown. And I thought it was fantastic. It was exactly what we're researching in modern, and I thought it was quite good, and it was something I could get into. And about 2 months ago, I found Dan Brown Angels and Demons on sale for $5. I bought it and I loved it. It was really really good. It is so different from the movie though. Like, just certain characters and certain things that happen in a different way. And it was very interesting to have seen the movie first, then read the book, because I reckon if I did do it the other way, I wouldn't have liked it. And I loved Angels and Demons. I'm just trying to show a bit of depth, because I do read books that are for adults sometimes. I do. Not often, because I'm a child. Okay, let's start off with the one thing I didn't like about this book. It doesn't get into it straight away. I've heard that most Dan Browns, they take a while to get into, like roughly 100 pages. And that 100 pages is just really explaining what happens. The background of the story, what's happening, some of the characters, and it's a good way to introduce it, but I really didn't think this book needed that much. I mean, the whole first 100 pages is just about antimatter, which is they've put in Vatican City and they're gonna blow it up, which is quite a cool concept. But you didn't really need to know about all the atoms and all that. Like, if you know antimatter goes boom, then that's the gist of it. But once you do get to Vatican City, that is when it really starts to pick up. Okay, I haven't even explained what this book is about. Okay, this book is about a professor called Robert Langdon, and he's a symbologist, and he's from Harvard University, and he gets called to a research facility called CERN in Switzerland, where a canister of antimatter has been stolen. And antimatter is this highly unstable substance, and if it connects with anything that is real matter, it will go boom and explode Vatican City. And someone's stolen it and put it in Vatican City, and they've received threats. And what's happened is the Pope has recently died, and they've had their 15 days of mourning. And the cardinals who are in line for being the next Pope have been stolen when they're actually in the process of electing the new Pope. So that's all happening, and they got to find these cardinals, and then they find out that there's this huge trail, and it was from like the Illuminatis, who were like this ancient like cult thing, and like it's just really fascinating. Like, I've learnt heaps of stuff about the Vatican, like, even if it isn't true. I don't know if it's true, but I'd like to think it is, so I feel a little bit smart. But yeah, okay, so this is quite a sophisticated book, and I would suggest, if maybe you'd probably need to be like 14, 15 plus to read it, otherwise you're not really going to understand most of what's happening. But yeah, like, as soon as you get past the first 100 pages, it really starts to pick up. And so the two main characters are Robert Langdon, who is the symbologist, and Victoria Vetra, who created the antimatter. Well, her and her father created the antimatter, and they killed her father and cut out his eye, which is just great. But yeah, and so the whole thing is about them going on this quest to find the Illuminati like center, and they're going to follow the path of illumination through Rome, and along the path they'll find these cardinals, which are pretty much being branded and killed with the four elements of science, which is fire, water, earth, and wind, air. But yeah, it's really quite fascinating, and the story is told from multiple perspectives. and it even goes into like it goes from the cardinals to Robert to Victoria to like the assassin who's killing all these people, and it's just really fascinating to see all these different types. Another thing I have a problem with in this book is some of the chapters are quite short, like a page, and you don't really get, you get a bit confused at some points because lots of different things are happening, but it's really good at the end when like lots of different things are happening and explains it, and it shows like it's just really good in that perspective. But yeah, overall this is quite a good book. Like, it took me 2 months to read because it was so hard to get into, but once I got past that first 100-200 pages, it really picked up and I read it within a week. Like, it's quite funny, I'm at a bit of a loss now that I've read it because I've had it so long, and yeah, I would suggest reading it. It's really fascinating, and hopefully this video and this book will show I do have a bit of depth apart from reading YA, which I normally read. But anyway, have a good day. Really pick up the book. It's amazing. You won't be disappointed. Also, if this book's by Dan Brown, and he wrote the Da Vinci Code, so be aware. It's like a lot of like Christianity and science and rah, and it's really great. But anyway, have a lovely day, and I'll see you in my next book review. Bye bye.